Hello everyone, my name is KUDNAVAR and the topic I'm going to discuss is on directors, how they are appointed, their powers, duties and liabilities. Let us start with the meaning of directors. A director may be defined as an individual who directs, controls or manages the affairs of the company. A director is a person who is appointed to perform the duties and functions of a company in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. They are basically known as board of directors. They play a very important role in managing the business and other affairs of the company. The directors are being appointed by the following: by articles of association, by the company, by the third party, by the board of directors and by the central government. First one, by the articles of association. The first directors of a company are usually mentioned in the Articles of Association. When Articles of Association do not contain the name of the directors, then memorandum shall be deemed to be the first directors of the company subject to the regulation of the articles. The first director holds the office until the directors duly appointed by the first annual general meeting. The directors can also be reappointed in annual general meeting. The company appoints director. Subsequent appointment of directors has to be done by the company in annual general meeting. At least two-thirds of the total numbers of such directors are liable by rotation, and only one-third must retire at every annual general meeting. It will not include additional director, alternate director, and nominee director. By the third parties. Under certain circumstances, the articles gives power to the debenture holders or creditors such as banks, financial institutions, etc. can nominate their directors to the board. But these directors should not exceed more than one-third of the total because they cannot be removed by rotation. By the Board of Directors. The Board of Directors may appoint a director as additional or fill in casual vacancy or as an alternative director. The Companies Act allows the board to appoint the directors in the above circumstances. And the last, central government also appoints directors. The central government may appoint such member of directors on the board as the company law board may specify as being necessary to safeguard the company, its shareholders or the public interest. The period of such directors will not exceed 3 years. They cannot be retired by rotation. The central government may remove such director and appoint another director at any time. Powers of directors are: first one, statutory powers. They have power to authorize lack of shares, powers to invest in funds, power to issue debentures whether in or outside India, power to approve the financial statement or board's report, power to approve amalgamation, merger or reconstruction. Other powers are: they have power to appoint first auditor of the company, power to appoint alternative directors, power to make political contribution, power to appoint additional directors, power to declare solvency whether the company winds up voluntarily. Third one is powers only with a special resolution. It is to sell or lease any asset of the company. They allow time to the directors for the repayment of the loan, to borrow money in excess of paid up capital and free reserves, to appoint a sole agent for more than 5 years. Managerial powers. The board acts in the interest of shareholders with the following powers: power to contract with third party, power to recommend dividend, power to take decision regarding terms and conditions for the issue of debentures, power to appoint managing director, manager, and secretary of the company, power of control and supervision of work of subordinates. Duties of directors are: first one, general duties. To form policy and determine objective of a company, to delegate power to any committee of the articles permit, to issue instructions to subordinates for the implementation of policy, to review the company's progress, to act in good faith in order to promote the objects of the company. However, the promotion of the objects should be for the benefit of the company. Specific duties of directors are: they must disclose his shareholding in a company, they must disclose his interest in the contracts of the company, must disclose their name, address, and occupation, duty to call statutory and annual general meeting of the company, to ensure full and correct disclosure in prospectus of all matters as required by the law, to perform all the other duties as assigned by the Act. Liabilities of directors. Liability means legally responsible for something. First one, liability against company. Directors are the agents and trustee of the company, and breach of these duties or negligence in performing, they make them liable to the company and its shareholders. The directors must not enter into a contract beyond their powers. In such case, directors are personally liable for the loss caused to the company for not performing his duties honestly and carefully, for dishonest act to make personal profits. Liability towards third parties. The directors should not misstatement in the prospectus for acting fraudulently. For this, directors will be liable to pay compensation to every person who subscribes shares on the faith of such prospectus, when the liability has been made unlimited by the memorandum, for acting beyond the powers of the company. And the last one is criminal liability. If the directors give misleading statements in prospectus, then they have to face imprisonment from 6 months to 10 years. Or if they give shares at discount, they have to face imprisonment or pay fine up to 5 lakhs. Thank you.